Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Oakland Raiders. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime, but kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They come in off another victory a weekend ago. That ran their win streak up to 7 now.
And I think that win last week established them as Super Bowl frontrunners. They're playing with confidence and swagger, and you need that to go a long way.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Chiefs, they, too, were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
3 quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Fletcher. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A very solid gain of 27. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 39-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
They get it to him running left. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Now let's
And they'll run it here. And some space here. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. They go play action here on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
First down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Kelly to throw. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. They give him a gain of 38.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now they'll run it on the toss. Stops short of the 25. The nice move couldn't ultimately free him. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
On 3rd down, that's Holland. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a 1st down. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
That is caught at the 7. A very solid gain of 27. solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked to them, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws that quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes two to tango. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Now Kelly. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's 3rd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. They lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down.
Brandon, I believe that they were in 4-down territory, and that's what they were thinking. But after the loss, I've got to kick the field goal. No way I'm going to go for it in this situation. But you know some of these coaches, they're extremely unpredictable, and they may go ahead and press it.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So the Chiefs offense heads out. There's a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
All right, here we go.
On play action, they'll throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Well, look at the forward defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. It's taken on the 25. Call it an even 40-yard punt. 7, though, on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now they'll run it on the toss. Twisting away. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? Second and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. To throw, Kelly. Rolling to his right. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running.
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So that one will be accepted.
No, check, Patriot!
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12.
Back 99 Philly, here we go!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And they'll run it here. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender.
Ooh.
To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. And this will be a touchback as that sails over. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. On 1st and 10, Kelly. Wide open receiver, complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game. Probably something they need to do more of here, losing in the second quarter.
When you're riding your best horse, you've got to lather him up.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side. And got his man complete. An outstanding pickup there for the Chiefs. 45 yards.
There's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Looking to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and then maybe a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And now past another. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 25 yards, the pickup there, and also a 1st down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
On 1st down, it's Kelly. He'll buy some time right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Raiders add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off the squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point right down the middle. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the 1st half of play. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. He'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. They'll set up a throw, and Adams has it complete. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout.
Timeout
as
defense.
It comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And McManus able to put it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've reached halftime here in Oakland with the Raiders on top. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. From there, we head over to the Pacific Northwest to check on the Seahawks at home in Seattle. And this one going the visitors' way as the Texans have the lead in that one. D.D. Westbrook, a touchdown reception. Finally, we head to the shores of Lake Erie, see what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Patrick Mahomes has thrown a touchdown pass there. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
All right, here we go.
Now they try the right side here. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
All right, here we go.
They're going to look to throw. Toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
And that is incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Back to throw here. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That goes as a gain of 36 on third down.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the chief linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15.
All right, here we go. Green,
He'll look to
39.
throw.
Green, 39.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going.
Green, 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They'll drop the throw. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot of picking that off in the end zone. It brings up 4th down.
They converted twice on third down that drive already, but couldn't make it a third. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And they'll run him here. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Check. 4 down. Flex round.
On 2nd down, Kelly. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
Here's Kelly out to his left. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory, down at the 33. Now they'll run it on the toss. Finding room to the 20. He won't go down. And he's hauled away down to the 6-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
To throw is Kelly. And pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that. They might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
They got 29 yards that time.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. It's a quarterback sneak. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. It's their quarterback. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Here we go. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. It's taken to the 26. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A Raider 1st down, 17 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. he's going to be stopped at about the 37. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Looking to throw on 2nd. Here's Kelly. Kelly stripped. The ball is free, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. The 40, the 30, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Now McManus for the extra point. McManus's point after is good, and that will shave one more off this lead. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This one taken just inside the 10. Oh, eluding the tackle. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Give the tackle to Hassan Reddick.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
It's the Raiders with a lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. The Raiders on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Kelly. Wide open receiver complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's go! 38! 38!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 more yards there and another first down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
This is caught. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. In for the score. And the Raiders add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This will be fielded at the 6. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Back to throw now on first down. Over the middle, complete. That's Pierce. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Pierce. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. And they'll go with a ground attack here. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
3-19.
They'll look to throw. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a first and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there. With his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Chiefs are able to draw a bit closer. He's doing his part, but still facing a sizable deficit.
And he would like to do more, but he needs help from the other 2/3, right? He needs his defense to bow up a little bit, and he also needs special teams to maybe create some big plays and help them get back in it.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed and, more importantly, perhaps that first-round bye.
But they have to clinch it, don't they?
Yeah.
That's the key, right? So, in a sense, the playoffs have started. They've got to go ahead and get this thing done. Otherwise, it's a different road, and you really don't want to be at the mercy of other teams and their results.
They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Let's go. What? 90. What? 90.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Let's go. 190. 190.
Kelly to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Now let's go. 319. 319.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Now let's go. Green 39.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
All right, here we go. Blue landed.
Now back to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll look to throw here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. 319. 319.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Back to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Lions. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Raider D, they get the football back. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none.
Yeah.
And a loose football. And I think the Chiefs have it. They do.
Well, I'm guessing that on the sidelines there might be a few words said about that mistake there, but I don't think it's going to hurt them in the long run. They're still going to get out of here with a win.
Yeah, they got the two-score cushion, but you know what coaches say, Charles? Finish strong.
Finish the game out the way it's supposed to be played. In fact, coaches might be secretly happy. Gives them a chance to do a little extra coaching next week.
Now let's go.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that's going to be incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game.
Green 39.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
You don't want to throw away this excellent field position, but that's 2 incomplete passes in a row. Definitely need something big here on 3rd and 10.
Conversely, defense has done a good job on 1st and 2nd down. The coverage has been draped.
Now let's go. Green 39.
He'll drop to throw. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5.
All right, here we go. 319. 319.
They'll look to throw again. And he's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. Clock running here under 90 seconds to go. They're going to look to throw. Try to drop one in, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal.
Here we go now. 319.
Back to throw here. And that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
All right, here we go. 319.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. They gave it to him in search of his 3rd touchdown, but he's denied. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he gets this up just shy of the 15. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout, as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And he'll be taken down at the 18. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Here we go. Bad 38. Bad 38. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for Oakland, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they'll
You